Hello and welcome to Did I Fix That? And today I'm going to talk about something that might seem kind of bizarre to some people, is how expensive or cheap is it to own a Porsche 911? All right, so this is a 2011 Porsche 911. It's the 997.2 variant. And this is probably the El Cheapo, because this is the Carrera. It's not an S, it's not anything. This is basically the base model Carrera. It does have some upgrades like the Bose sound system, the Sport Chrono package, Sport exhaust, and the like. So it's fairly well optioned, I guess. It does have the PDK transmission, which some people are not wild about. I guess really every car I've had that's been I say a fun car or sports car has always had a stick shift. Although this one does have the PDK, which initially I thought was going to be just junk, but it's really pretty cool. Kind of like it. So let me jump right into it and just say that this car is probably one of the cheapest cars I've ever owned in my life. That's going to catch some people off guard when I made such a statement, but it truly is. Now, I've owned this car. When I bought the car, it had about 95,000 miles on it. Right now, I've got right at 105,000 miles on the vehicle. Now, as far as things that have broken on the car, absolutely nothing has broken on the car since I've had it. Maybe I should knock on wood, I don't know, but nothing has broken at all. I have done routine maintenance on the vehicle, so I will jump into that in just a second. The guy that I bought the car from had brakes replaced on the vehicle before I bought it. And I will say that he paid handsomely for this job. He went to the dealership, and I'm looking at the receipt here. It's basically it's $2,300, almost $2,400, and the car had 90,000 miles when he had it done. So right now I've got on these brakes, I've got basically 15,000 miles on them. There's the pad. If it'll focus. There you go. That's how much pad is left after 15,000 miles. And I do, crap, if this thing will focus here. I do daily drive this. Is getting some kind of, I don't want to say waves, but just kind of some ridges here, which correspond with the cross drilling on the rotors. But it stops just fine. Don't have any squeaks, anything goofy like that going on with it. The tires that are on the vehicle are the Michelin Pilot Sport, and I've got right at he replaced those at 86,000 miles. So basically, I've got about 20,000 miles on these. And as you can see on the inner aspect, they're about worn out. The wear indicators are present. So these things do like tires. So I mean, that's the elephant in the room as far as maintenance on these things is the tires. Now these tires do have a tread wear rating of 220, so that's a fairly sticky tire, if you will. He replaced those, and he spent right at $1,500 for the set. So that's kind of the elephant in the room as far as the maintenance on these things. I did look at Tire Rack, and if you get the cheapest thing that they have on there, you're going to spend about $1,000 for tires. So, you know, stuff I've done is basically routine maintenance. So an oil change for this thing, if you do it yourself, is not that much. An oil change is less than $100. Now the guy that I bought it from, I guess, was not very mechanically inclined, so he went out and had oil changes done, and they're about 250 bucks. So if you have a moderate amount of mechanical ability, you can change the oil on this thing. Just because it's a Porsche doesn't mean that you can't do it. I swear to you, this is the easiest car to work on ever. You don't have to jack it up to change the oil, and I did a video on that, so take a look at it. But I mean, everything's pretty easy to get to. Oil filter is right there, and put the oil in right there. I mean, literally, you do not even have to jack the car up. So oil changes are about $100. Actually, it's a little bit less. And I typically buy my stuff at FCP, Euro, or on Amazon, whichever one's running the special of the day is who I go with. I do use liquid moly, 5W40, full synthetic in it, and I change it every 5,000 miles. It's probably overkill. I'm sure Porsche recommends a longer interval, but it's pretty cheap insurance. Okay, so the next thing that I did on the vehicle was I changed the spark plugs. That entailed taking the bumper off. Getting into that honestly, it takes 10 minutes to take the bumper off and about 10 minutes per side for the mufflers. Take the mufflers off. Once that's there, everything's out and about, and you can see it real easily. Spark plugs themselves were 21 bucks for a set of spark plugs. And those are for Bosch, OE spark plugs. So did that. Pretty simple job. I did a video on that as well. Please feel free to look at it and see how easy it is. Next thing I did was I replaced the serpentine belt, and that was 24 bucks. Did that myself, did a video on that. It's not too terribly difficult to get at it. It's a little cumbersome to get it back on. I mean, that's probably the most difficult job on the car, I would say, to date that I've done. But that was only 24 bucks. Also, I mean, I did some cosmetic stuff, nothing major. I mean, just like I painted this windshield cowl. I did a video on how to take it off and how to refinish it. And it's held up, looks like it's brand freaking new, and it's been done. I mean, I did that probably a year and a half ago, something like that. And I used Eastwood plastic renewer. That was 43 bucks to have that stuff shipped to me and everything. You know, replace windshield wipers, those type of things are pretty easy to do. That was 38 bucks for that. And I'll put everything up online and show you exactly how much I spent. Then also the brake fluid flush, that was 17 bucks for Pentosin .4, DOT4. And also I did the power steering fluid. I just kind of flushed that out as well. All in all, you know, I'm all in, and I've had this car for I don't know, a year and a half or so. $498.59 for maintenance. So I mean, you break that down, that's less than $1 a day for maintenance on this vehicle. I mean, it's dirt cheap. The other, I'm just kind of showing some stuff here. Little cup holders, I'm sure everybody's seen these. They just kind of pop out like that, 2 of them. Gas mileage on the vehicle, I do daily drive this. This is my car that I use daily, is roughly 24-ish miles per gallon. I have noticed that the trip computer, or the fuel mileage computer, is off by probably 2 miles per gallon, something like that. So it'll routinely display, you know, 27-ish, and I get about 24 and a half, 25, somewhere in that range. On the highway, I do get a I've gotten 31 paper and pencil, so that's doing it the old-fashioned way. Insurance will vary based on where you are in your driving record. Mine, I'm with Costco Insurance. It's like $440, I think, every 6 months. It's not ridiculous to insure. I mean, all in all, it's a great car. Highly recommend it. The only other thing that's going to kind of get me, though, is the service of the transmission. I will have to take that in. That's out of my pay grade. I think I could probably, you know, empty the fluid, replace the filter, put it back in, but there's some kind of wonky fill procedure you've got to use their computer and get it up to temp and this, that, and the other, and I just don't want to screw with it, because if the transmission does go out, I've read online, some of them can be $20,000 to $25,000 if you go to Porsche and have it put in, so that would effectively total your vehicle. So that's about it. I know this might be hard to believe, but it is a super affordable vehicle to own, joy to drive. I will say it's a tad on the noisy side, or at least I didn't know what to expect, but because it's my first Porsche, but it has a little bit of road noise in it. Could be the tires, I don't know, but at any rate, it's not deadly quiet. But hey, it's a sports car. What do you expect? So that's it. Please comment down below, and I would strongly encourage everybody getting one. I don't think I've taken any really big hit on depreciation on this thing. I feel like I can get my money back out of it pretty easily. But highly recommend the vehicle to anybody that would like one.